Hello, my name is Lisa Cobb, and I am a school social worker in Muskegon County. I am currently working in North Muskegon schools. I have been a mindfulness instructor for over 10 years, and I'm so happy that you are here with us today to go over Module 4.
My name is Kelly Hookinga. I am so happy to be here with Lisa. She is my mentor when it comes to mindfulness, so this is a privilege. I am a school climate and culture coach at the ISD. Been there for a couple of years, and before that, I was a school counselor and a teacher.
Awesome. So we're going to start out by trying to share our screen. So those of you who do this on a regular basis,
We don't.
we don't. So we are loading and we are going to try to move. Yay,
We did it.
we did it. All right, so in today's practice, we're going to do an opening breathing activity. We're going to review quickly the stress response, and then we will get into mindful seeing, mindful listening, and that will be incorporated into our closing sit or practice, and then ending up with heartfulness. So a reminder of our stress response. We know through all of the mindfulness basic lessons that we've learned about the brain that when the amygdala is triggered, we go into fight, flight, freeze, and now has been added fawn response. And we can be thinking about something in the past. We can be projecting out into the future, and the mindfulness practice brings us to the present moment. Because when we are in our stress response, our brain, our hearing, our heart, our stomach, adrenals, everything that's on the slide, all of our muscles and our breathing and how we're seeing and processing information impacts our body in a negative way. And if we don't learn how to take care of ourselves and notice when we're feeling stressed, real or perceived, then eventually it can make us sick. So the stress cycle, we've got our thoughts, we've got our feelings, we've got our symptoms, we've got our behaviors. So today we're specifically going to focus on when we decide what we're going to pay attention to, we take our power back. We are constantly processing information through our five senses, what we see, what we smell, taste, hear, touch, and what we're thinking about. So in this practice today, we're specifically going to look at eyes and ears and ways that we can use that as a way to calm our bodies, take our power back no matter where we are.
It's a really good skill to give kids as well.
Absolutely. So we'll just start out right now to kind of ground ourselves. We're coming from wherever, home or school, out in the community. There's a lot that's happening in our world, has been happening in our world. So we're just going to take, let's say 3 to 5 deep breaths together. We're going to breathe in through our nose if we can. We're going to feel that air come down our throat. We're going to expand in our belly and in our chest. We're going to hold it, and then we're going to blow out. And that signals our body and our brain that we are not under threat, that we feel safe. So in this grounding activity, I just want us to go ahead and close our eyes, sitting up straight, putting your shoulders back, heart to the sky, feet flat on the floor, hands on your lap, to your sides. We're going to go ahead and take 3 deep breaths. I'm going to use my singing bowl. Sometimes the singing bowl can pick up in the audio recording in a way that is not pleasant, so I'm going to ring it very softly. So we're going to go ahead and close our eyes. Just take in a nice deep breath to about the count of 4. Fill your belly and your rib cage and hold it for about 7. And then we're going to blow out for about 8. And the reason why we blow out longer is to empty our belly, the feeling in our belly, empty our lungs, and it signifies through our vagus nerve that our body is calm. Go ahead and breathe in again. Holding. And this time when you breathe out for that 8, really let your shoulders droop, melting your body, even just 2%, relaxing your face and neck and shoulders and arms, down your back, around to your rib cage, your chest cavity, your belly, into your hips, just relaxing and melting down into your thighs and knees, calves, shins, ankles, and feet. Just breathing naturally, checking in with our body, letting our body know we are okay and safe in this moment. Take another breath. And bring a smile to your face, even with your eyes closed, even if it's fake. When you bring that smile, it signifies to your body that you are okay. It's just another tool to use. Breathing in gratitude, breathing out gratitude. We'll slowly open our eyes and wiggle our fingers and toes. Come back to this space. And you can do this exercise anytime, even when you're at school, between classes, when you get a chance to take a break in the restroom, as you're walking down the hallway, even with your eyes open, just breathing in, checking in, letting your body know we're taking care of ourselves right now. Consciously, I'm taking care of me so that I can go and meet others where they are.
All right, so when we talk about mindful seeing, really, this is the mind up definition, is mindful seeing enables us to better observe ourselves, other people, and our surroundings more fully and enjoy them and learn from them. This is very true in so many aspects, and I think we take our sight for granted instead of just stop and notice what we're seeing. So noticing is the big word I think about with mindful seeing. The practice of consciously noticing everything, as I just said, within your visual field, so you don't have to notice everything around you, just what's in front of you. It takes your mind from a place of thinking and doing, and I am a big thinker, and sometimes I can get to work and not even, I think about the drive and I can't remember seeing it, if that makes sense. So it's just taking yourself out of that thinking and doing mode and just a place of noticing, which brings more appreciation. And the best part about mindful seeing is that there's no right or wrong way to do it. You can do it inside or outside, and you don't have to attain a goal. There's not any sort of grading yourself if you've done it well or not. It's just to see and notice what's around you. As I said, there's no right or wrong way to do it. You can do it anytime or anywhere. I prefer outside than inside, but some people might prefer inside. Preferably something universal and vast that always can help your mind expand, makes you that wow factor, that what you're seeing is just magnificent. The things that I've done before in the classroom, I've hidden pictures of animals or things that are camouflaged. So I'll start with the classroom and say, just what are you seeing? And I go very slowly. So notice this screen, at what you're seeing, and I slowly reveal that. And I try not to name it. I'm just noticing what I'm seeing. Thinking to myself, oh, I'm probably in the woods here.
You're kind of slowing yourself down.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you're really trying to notice the shadows. And then that last box reveals something that's like, wow, you could have missed it if you weren't really just mindfully in that moment at that place and time. Let's try another one. Again, just, your kids are thinking to themselves, they're not guessing, is it a tree? You're having them notice the textures. You're having them notice what that might feel like. or smell like? And again, you're getting your place in your mind, like, where are you? If you were there, where would you be?
Something that works for anxiety too, right?
It does very
So,
much, yes.
You can say 5 things that I see that are this color, 4 things that are this color, 3 things, 2 things, 1 thing. Your brain can only do 1 thing at a time.
Yes.
So as much as we think that we multitask, if we say to our brain, we are just going to pay attention to what we're seeing.
Exactly. And when you're doing this, if a kid is de-escalated, and definitely I'm not going to try that with somebody when they're really heightened. But once you can see that they're coming down and they're just giving them some peace, this kind of activity is really good. Now, this is the one screen that the kids were like, wow, just noticing how this owl's feathers, which were really soft, could match the side of that tree, and which feels so very different. It's not alive while the owl is. So many things that they would just notice about that moment in time. You can't not. Here's one more, and you're thinking, again, don't name it, just see it. Go ahead. Yeah, all the different shapes, textures, the veins in those leaves. And the kids will start to say, wow, I could walk past that and never see what I'm seeing. And then they start saying, at this point, they don't notice how the leaves are wet and how maybe, I don't know if these are frogs or toads. I'm not a big frog toad person, but I mean, they'll say they look so much like leaves, but they feel so different, and noticing how those textures can all have so much similarity. We've included these screens in a slideshow that is in your resources. And if it's a mindful senses resource that I put in your participant resource folder, and you're welcome to use these or make your own. These are very simple.
Yeah, I like this because it does feel like the whole practice of mindfulness is you are in charge of what you're paying attention to. So even if you're looking at something like this and then your mind goes off and starts telling another story about the past or the future or something that's happening, and then you're like, oh, there's my tricky mind again trying to distract me from doing
I like how you say, I hear you. Like I always say, I hear you. If my mind's out, I hear you. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. And it's almost that self-dialogue that gets you to come back and not be so judgmental of yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
But you realize just how much chatter we constantly have going on, and that chatter distracts us from us, because none of that, it's all kind of made up. Where if you're just looking at this and being like, wow, I'm really going to look at the colors. I'm really curious that you can, like you said, tell that there's moisture, and that the frogs or toads would feel different than the leaves, and
how the spine of the frog is much like that leaf's veins and a spine in that leaf. Yeah. So these are I just looked up camouflage pictures on Google and then covered them up and animated the screen.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So when we move into mindful listening, which I almost started to go into because I was thinking you could almost hear what it would be like to crumble the leaves or to move them about, or when you're out in nature, what the wind might sound like, what the animals might sound like. And that so often we just tune all of that out, where I think I love to be outside and hiking, but I have to make a conscious choice that I'm going to walk mindfully, which is very different than walking with a friend and just the whole time. And you think that's going to make you feel better. And it's like, even if you can take bits of time where you stop and notice, what am I seeing around me? What does it smell like out here? What am I really hearing? What does my mouth taste like right now? Is it dry from walking? Do I taste morning coffee? Like whatever it is. And how the wind and if there's sunshine, like feels on your skin, like what the temperature is.
And you can't not be present if you're feeling that, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So you just take that deep breath and just like stop, and I'm like, wow, that's really cool. And then you can move about the rest of your time, but noticing that difference between when you're really tuned into your senses versus distracted by
And I
what's
think,
going on in
like
your
you
mind.
just said, one sense leads to another,
Yeah.
right? If they do, they all go together. I was just thinking, like when you were describing that, that's what a good author does. They put you're reading a book that you just enthralled, you feel like you're there, right? But they're naming all of the senses and all
Yeah.
of the sights.
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah.
So we talk about mindful listening, Mind Up, which is a tool that we use a lot in our schools. Mindful listening helps us choose which sound to focus our attention on, helps us be thoughtful in the way that we hear and respond to words of others too. So how many times are we talking to somebody and we're thinking ahead of how we're going to respond, or we're judging them for how they're presenting or what they're presenting, and aren't very often in tune to what they are really saying to us and kind of the energy and the feeling that they're bringing to it. Where again, a mindful practice would be taking a deep breath and noticing what is their body language like, what is what are the words and the energy and the feeling and the emotion that they're bringing to this conversation. How is that impacting me? And do I need to be settled and grounded so that I don't add to?
Yeah. It kind of depersonalizes. It's not this what's coming at you isn't all about me. There's two of us there.
Yeah.
When you think about that.
Yeah.
I
And
like
so
that.
it's like,
Yes.
again, a conscious choice.
Yep.
I'm going to listen to what's being said to me. And I'm going to feel how that's impacting me. And then I get to decide, conscious choice, how do I best respond to that situation?
Not always easy.
Not always easy, no, but that's the practice. Like,
Mhm.
this is making me feel uncomfortable. I'm judging myself. I should have been more prepared. Why am I wearing this today? Should I wear my glasses in this video? Like, on and on and on and on and on and on and on. So if you're like, okay, this is really important that I make this person feel like they're the only thing I got going on today.
Yeah.
And when you give them that attention, they can feel that, and more often they can move on easily, much more easily in our classroom. So mindful listening can be anything. If we just sit in silence right now, I can hear our fan running.
That's electricity.
Yeah. And so you're just noticing, and you can do that with kids all the time. It's so much fun when it's like raining outside or the snow is blowing, just to be like really in tune. And it trains your mind again to what you pay attention to. And that is the practice. I'm going to choose to pay attention to what I'm hearing. Oh, I'm the boss of me. I'm going to choose to be what I'm here, to notice what I'm hearing. And then when you teach yourself and your students and your children that, then you've trained your brain to pay attention to this math test and the feelings that I have, checking in. I'm going to pay attention to this right now, not what happened on social media or what I'm going to do this weekend. So it enhances empathy and compassion for ourselves and other people. Mindful listening can improve for sure our conflict resolution and decrease tension because you're noticing along the way. And it's called mirror neurons. When we're with somebody, we're mirroring their energy. So when we are calm, our bodies cannot help at a subconscious level to pick up on our energy. So when we're calm, it decreases that tension. Mindful listening can help us retain information that's really being communicated. How many times, even today,
I was just gonna say that.
like you hear things, and you're like, oh my gosh, like you said, even about driving, like so much of the time our brain is distracted in this whole story that it's making up. And so we miss what people are saying. We miss the lesson that the teacher is teaching. We miss the drive into work.
I'll even ask the question, and I know I'm going to get an answer, but I'm thinking what the next question will be. So I've missed the answer, and I'll have to call them back and say, "Did you say?"
Right.
But I asked the question, so I'm instead of listening, I'm going up through what else I need to know. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is, when you spend time with people who are mindfulness practitioners for a very long time in their life, there's that pause that kind of feels a little bit awkward.
Mhm.
So then you ask them a question and they go, Yeah, that's a really good question. And like in our society, we're like, well, what are you stalling because you don't have the answer? You're going to make something up. And it's like, no, really, their intention is, I want to give you a well thought out answer. I don't want to just bounce back and forth. And we're
Yes.
so used to doing that. So our mindful listening can improve and deepen our relationships as a form of care, compassion, respect, and consideration for ourselves and for other people. And the mindful listening enhances our own self-awareness, and it helps us realize like our own personal judgments about ourselves, the assumptions and the biases that we have about ourselves and certainly other people. And when we understand through the mindfulness practice that judging is what we do to keep ourselves safe. So we categorize people. I want to be physically and emotionally safe is why we judge. So we all judge naturally, but in the definition of mindfulness in the present moment on purpose without judgment means, oh, there's judgment. I'm judging. I'm aware of the fact that I'm judging. Wow, I'm really mean to myself. Wow, I'm being really mean to that other person. I have a lot of assumptions that are going on right here. And so then you're like, okay, body, let's just breathe into that, calm ourselves, be in the present moment, and respond to actually what's going on. And again, not all the chatter that's
I was
happening.
going to say, I often will judge myself because I'm trying to listen to one of my children, but I'm also looking at an email on the phone or something that I've got to get done. And if I just put that down for a minute, I could get back to it. That could be so much better as a parent to just look at them in the eyes and fully get their message, even if it's not something that's monumental to me and maybe to them.
Right.
Yeah.
And we think in the classroom, if I give you the time that you need, I can't deal with these 27 other people.
Right.
But truly, if you can stop and say, I can see that you're really frustrated with that right now. And if you can just give me a couple minutes to get everybody else going, I want to like talk with you about this and make sure that you're okay.
Exactly.
And sometimes that's all that we need is to just know
I
that
got
somebody
you.
knows.
I got you. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And then many times they're like, you know what? I'm okay. I figured it out.
I felt better actually when you just said that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny. Yeah. Funny how our brain works. So oops, I didn't want to do that yet. I do want to go into a little bit of practice, and then we'll go ahead and do heartfulness. So let's get in our mindful bodies again, and notice how we're feeling. Closing our eyes, just taking a few breaths that are our normal breath, breathing in, breathing out, noticing what you are thinking about your stress, the stories that you've been telling yourself. Let's even say the last 2 years since our lives changed with COVID. And even when I say the word COVID, with your eyes closed, sitting up straight, hands down to your sides or on your lap, feet flat on the floor, and I say COVID, where does your mind go? Like it's almost like an index file or a Google search. We're just like, oh, then this happened and that happened and I felt this. So just stop the thought about COVID for a minute and check in. Where do you feel even the word COVID in your body? Don't go into the story. Just where do you feel it in your body, in your gut, your chest cavity, your shoulders? Our mind wants to go off in the story. No, come back. The fear, sadness, uncertainty, judgment. Where do you feel all of that in your body? And I want you to breathe into that feeling. So we're going to take a deep mindful breath and encapsulate all of that, those feelings, those thoughts into your breath. You're holding them in your lungs right now. And then we're going to blow them out. They're gone. For a count of 8, judgment, fear, uncertainty. I'm not good enough. How can I possibly do all of this? I can feel it in my body. I'm blowing it out and letting it go. I cannot change it. Just feel what that release feels like in your body. Maybe take another deep breath. My body just did it. Take another deep breath. Thank you, body, for holding all of that for me. And now I can make the conscious choice that we let that go. Just let your shoulders soften and your neck and your mind. Let your heart rate slow down just for right now, just for this moment. And then I want you to think about your school year, where you've been, where you are, where you're going. Oh, feel that in your body. I can feel it in my gut. I almost feel like I get a kick in the gut. And then my mind starts to review, was this year or last year? I want to put a quantitative time on it. Like, do you mean like calendar year or school year? Or, summer versus fall versus sporting activities, whatever it is, our brain wants to put it into a time frame, but just to feel it. Oh my gosh, this school year, last school year, next school year. Excitement, regret, trepidation, uncertainty. Where do those feelings resonate in your body? Do you feel your body tense even when you think about it? Maybe sometimes we even get a feeling in our throat, a lump in our throat where we just want to cry. We've been holding on to our emotions for so long. So breathe into that feeling. All of the emotions and thoughts and stories that are attached to this last school year, blow it out. Let it go. Can't change it. We don't know what's going to happen. It's okay. You're good at what you do. You're finding your way back. Take another breath. Breathe in, I'm finding my way back. And blow out. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Just sit. Where does your mind go? How does your body feel? If you have any more tension that's kind of hanging out, let's scan from the top of your head, your face, like your eyebrows. Relax them. Relax your eye sockets and your cheekbones. Relax your jaw, the muscles around your ears and the muscles in your scalp. Just let it go. The back of your neck, the side of your neck, front of your neck, your throat. Just breathing in and letting go, softening your shoulders down to your elbows to your wrists and your hands. Just let it go. Bring your attention to the back of your neck, your spinal cord, and just relaxing your spinal cord from your neck and upper back, middle back, lower back, down to your tailbone. Relaxing your pelvis, your belly, your rib cage. Then bring your attention to your thighs, inner thighs, top of your thighs, outside, back, just relaxing those big muscles down into your knees, your shins, your calves, your ankles, your feet, the arches of your feet, your toes. Just breathing in one more time, gathering up any tension in your breath and blowing it out. And keeping your eyes closed, we'll go right into heartfulness. Put your hands on your heart. And Kelly, you can go ahead and repeat after me. I am healthy.
I am healthy.
And if your body and your brain argue with that, say, yep, I feel that. But we are moving back into our self-awareness and let our body know You are important to me, and we are working towards being healthy. Breathe that in. I am happy.
I am happy.
Notice how your body feels. Let's change that up to I am ready to be happy.
I am ready to be
Oh, bring
happy.
that smile to your face and know that it's coming. Tell your body it's coming. I am ready to be happy. I am peaceful,
I am peaceful.
and I am ready to feel more and more peace.
And I'm ready to feel more and more peace.
Even everything that's happening in our society and our planet, knowing that all I can do is first take care of myself and feeling healthy and happy and peaceful so that I bring that energy to all places and people who need it. Because we bring the energy of fear or anger, it just brings more fear and anger. I am safe.
I am safe.
I am scared,
I am scared.
but I am ready to understand what safety feels like.
I am ready to understand what safety feels like.
And even though I can't control what's happening around me, go ahead and repeat that.
Even though I can't control things around me,
I can bring myself back to my breath,
I can bring myself back to my breath
bring love into my heart,
and love into my heart,
and send my hope for safety
and send my hope for safety
all around the planet.
all around the planet.
Sometimes it even helps to visualize the planet and almost giving Mother Earth a big hug and letting her know, and all of the people and all of the animals and all of nature on our planet, that we are ready to be healthy and happy and peaceful and feel safe. And lastly, I am ready to be joy-filled.
I am ready to be joyful.
And putting your hands out in front of us, I send you, Kelly and I send you our hope for a healthy, happy, safe, peaceful existence in your classrooms, in your home, in your community, in your country, and on our planet. Thank you for spending time with us. Go ahead and open your eyes if you want to. Otherwise, just keep your eyes closed and we'll go ahead and finish today. And
Thank you.
thank you very much for this time.